The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
There goes that man's jock strap.
Oh my God, did you see that?
America's team? Yeah, right.
Oh, baby, it's a big day in sports.
There's nothing like battling it out with your teammates all season long to go win a championship.
Green Bay's got it this year. Huge move for him. I think it's going to be a game changer.
We have a lot to talk about this busy week in the sports world. Welcome to the In a League of Their Own podcast.
The In a League of Their Own podcast is brought to you by Golf Kicks. Screw your shoes. By Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Rep Sports. By Smooth My Balls. And by Streamer Loot. Check out the In the League of Their Own merch line today. Welcome to the show. Let's see what Austin and Colin are diving into today.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice that Giannis at least showed up last night. He put up 42 points for the effort. Middleton and Holiday didn't really get it done, but again, we'll get to that in a little bit here. Heading over to the NFL, what's going on over there?
So the biggest news, kind of the only news coming out of the NFL is Tom Brady getting trolled by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Stanley Cup. After Tampa just won the title, their consecutive back-to-back Stanley Cup champs. And they tweeted at him saying, I think this might be a little too heavy to throw since it's 35 pounds. And Tom Brady replied back in like a funny way. He goes, everything's a little bit lighter after some tequila. So this is mocking him after he chucked the Lombardi trophy last year from one boat to the other boat, which is pretty cool. I mean, especially for like somebody like him, you'd think that he'd be like the last person to like throw that. And he just fucking tossed it across the water and hoped that it made it. So that's pretty good. Otherwise, Lombardi would be sitting in the bottom of the ocean right now.
Yeah, but at the same time, yeah, Tom Brady has a lot of class, but at the same time, he's not one of few sports athletes, not just football players, athletes in the entire world who could do something like that and get away with it because it's like, okay, it's Tom Brady, let him do his thing. So, yeah, and then I think they also tweeted at Gronk and said it's a little harder to catch too. So
yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's funny and kind of I guess one point on that and seeing something out of right after Tampa won the cup is the Tom Brady effect in Tampa with how Lightning win a cup, Tampa Bay Rays went to the World Series, the Bucks win a Super Bowl. And then now the Lightning win another Stanley Cup. Obviously, I mean, it is coincidence. A guy literally showing up doesn't have an impact really on two other franchises that have nothing to do with the franchise he's in. But it's still kind of just a cool point to bring up that Tom Brady effect that no matter where he goes, he brings success with him.
Yeah, Tampa's sitting second place behind the Red Sox too, so those two teams are running away with it in the East. So look to see them in the playoffs again, and who knows how much of this Tom Brady effect really is going to go around. It's almost the same feeling that you had back in Boston after the Boston Marathon bombing kind of happened, where all the Boston New England teams won a championship. The Celtics, the Bruins, the Patriots, and was it the Red Sox? Yeah, I think it was the Red Sox. All four won in one season. So just cool when something tremendous happens, whether it's somebody, one of the greatest athletes of all time moving to your city or the city coming together after a tragedy or whatever the case may be. There's always some sort of effect that goes into a championship happening. It doesn't just happen out of nowhere. So shout out to Tampa. And if they can keep things rolling, I think they might change their name to Champa Bay.
Yeah, I like that. It's got a nice ring to it. Yeah, I mean, that kind of the whole Stanley Cup Twitter trolling Brady and Gronk was the only thing I had to mention. I don't know if you had anything else to throw out there.
No, that's kind of all I had is really nothing's really happening here. Training camp start on the 23rd. So kind of, I think is going to be a little lull time between now and then.
All right. Sounds good. Then, yeah, kind of picking up with their conversation from the start of the episode. The Suns last night took a 2-0 series lead in the NBA Finals. And again, Giannis looked really good. Right before the game, you said, hey, I got a feeling Giannis is going to drop 50 or a triple-double. He drops 42, so he's right in that same ballpark. And the rest of the starters would struggle from the field. I want to say Middleton had 17 and Drew had like 11. And then both Tucker and Lopez were under 10. So these are both teams that don't really have that one superstar player to lean on. Obviously, like, for example, Giannis dropping 42 wasn't enough. Not even close to enough. They won by, or they lost by double digits. So I don't know. I mean, it is scary as it looks looking at a 2-0 deficit. They were in the exact same ballpark against the Nets. They came off a 40-point loss to go down 2-0 in the series, and they'd win it in 7. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Are they in more trouble than they were with the Nets series, or is it going to be 2-2 series heading back to Phoenix for Game 5?
I'd love to say that I think they're just fine, but this team that they're playing, the Phoenix Suns, the way that they move the ball and how they play as a team, it's not like playing against the Nets where you kind of just have to shut down KD and kind of that's all you got to really do. You just stop one guy. Where this team, they have 5 different players who can each take over the game at any moment that they get the ball. And just watching them move the ball last night really has me concerned for the Bucks defense. Nobody stayed their positions. They're all chasing the ball around the floor. I think Bud needs to find out a better game plan for their defense. I feel like we need to find something that can literally shut them down, because I saw a handful of times where they highlighted that one play where they passed the ball like 20 times before they shot the ball. And how can you stop? You can't stop that. I mean, when the ball's moving that quick and they all know where it's going, you can't stop that. And then you have Devin Booker. Shout out to Devin Booker. He becomes the 4th person ever under the age of 25 to go 35-5 in a final. He joins the list of, it was Dwayne Wade. I really wish I would have saved it. But yeah, I don't even think Jordan's on that list. Yeah, it was pretty impressive what that team is doing. I mean, yeah, the home court advantage helps. It'll see how the tides turn when they do come to Milwaukee. Milwaukee's fan base, obviously, it's pretty loud in there too. But Chris Paul, I don't know. It kind of seems like all the legends / like Hall of Famers, All-Stars are rooting for Chris Paul to finally get it done and get his one title. And I don't know. It kind of feels like there's some magic in the air for the Suns. I don't know. Something just doesn't seem right. But it could be Middleton and the rest of the group not helping Giannis out too, because he went above and beyond what he normally drops is 30. So he went and did 40 and still had 12 rebounds, and the rest of the team kind of, I don't know, they're just missing shots. And it doesn't help when the Suns open up the game 8-14 for threes in the first quarter. I don't really know what we can do to get that done besides make our shots.
Yeah, I mean the first quarter of Game 3 is going to basically determine the series. If the Bucks come out hot, go out to a sizable lead, it's going to be basically all right. They're going to take care of things at home. But if they struggle or it's a tight game, they're missing their shots, they don't use that home court advantage to their benefit. It could be over in 4 or 5.
If we drop Game 3, it's sweep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too worried. Obviously, like I said, looking at a 2-0 deficit, there's a little bit of worry. But again,
it all comes down to this one.
Yeah, it all comes down to Game 3 at home. And the Bucks open as 4-point favorites in that. So even the sports betting realizes kind of like you mentioned, the tide shifting over to Milwaukee. Again, Phoenix has had it a long time coming. They had that arena rocking the last 2 games. Obviously with you had mentioned Chris Paul, everybody kind of pulling for him to win his first title. They got that energy in the arena. And you flip it over to the other side. Every single guy in the NBA finals, both rosters, this would be their first ring. So you kind of have that extra energy in the air, no matter what arena, game 1 through game 7, if it gets to that point of just everybody realizing that these players, this is their first time. For a lot of people, this is their first time seeing their favorite team win a title. As for the Suns, it's been a couple decades. For the Bucks, it's been 50 years. Yeah, it's going to be a fun. I guess if the Bucks don't pull it off, yeah, like it. Say if like back in the day, if the Packers lost to like the Patriots in the Super Bowl, be pissed off because it's like you're sick of watching the Patriots win. But in this case, it'd be cool to see the Suns win because, again, another franchise who hasn't been there in a while and seeing Chris Paul get his first ring. So, in the end, it's all sports, and it's as a fan of the game just in general, and as facilitators doing what we do on this podcast, it's fun to see a team win a championship every year, no matter if you're rooting for them or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And then two things that are going the Bucks' favor as well. Giannis's post-game press conference. I don't know if you had the chance to watch that, but he basically said kind of what you said. We've been in this spot before. They're really not too concerned with being down 2-0. And then he was asked about Drew Holiday struggling and Middleton struggling, and he just said they'll get back to it. Don't worry, like that type of thing. And that's total classic Chris Middleton. He's stunk for the last 2 games, so look for him to be fucking dead hot these next 2 games, or at least 1 game, because he's such a streaky player. He's either dead cold or he's dead hot. He's never average.
Yeah.
And then Holiday, if he can just step it up a little bit more, he's played tremendous defense in the last game, but the offensive side of some of the shots that he was taking just didn't seem right. And then the second biggest thing is Torrey Craig going down for the Suns. So that's 2 big guys now on the Suns who are now down. He does have a bone bruise in his knee. They're not sure if he's going to be back for the rest of the series or not. So this is another thing that's just going the Bucks away, and they need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's after Saric went down, in any sport, it's a next man up in any situation, especially when you're in your championship series for your sport. You got to be ready to step up. And for Kaminsky stepping up in Saric's place, obviously you can see that little bit of a lull in the Suns' offensive side and defensive side with him on the court. But he's holding his own. It's not like he's going out there missing wide open shots or having breaks or busted defense or anything like that. So, this entire playoffs, this entire season has been who can overcome the adversity the most. And nobody can really use the injury excuse anymore because every team is dealing with it. So, it's a matter of who can fight through it and who's going to win this title. I don't know if I actually have 2 more things on the NBA. I don't know if you had any final points on game 2.
Yeah, bring up what's your next point?
One thing being that that James Harden was stopped yesterday by French police after being involved in a situation involving cannabis. With he was hanging out with Kanye West and Lil Baby.
Lil Baby got arrested.
Yeah,
for being international drug trafficker.
Yeah,
a whole bunch of drugs over there.
Basically James Harden stepped in and was just kind of trying to help with the situation. Police realized he wasn't really involved or anything to do with it, so he walked. Again, James Harden, his off-court antics, seems like he's. Every year, every other year, he's getting. What's that?
I said you never really hear about him getting in trouble for anything. He's always just around situations.
Yeah.
It's like he knows everyone, and he's just the guy standing in the corner.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the last thing, Damian Lillard at the media press for the Olympic team, he addressed his situation in Portland, saying that his free agency will be dealt with in-house, and he has not requested a trade and does not intend to request a trade. So sounds like it's just kind of business behind closed doors kind of thing. Damian Lillard is just kind of one of those guys. He's not too, doesn't have a big ego on his shoulders. Just kind of puts his head down and goes to work. And I mean, as much as it'd be nice to see Lillard go to another team and have a potential run for a championship, I think he'd stay in Portland.
Yeah, he loves it there. And it sucks that when he lost CJ McCollum years back, when they ended up getting rid of him, because those two were a dynamic duo for Portland. So look for them. They're on a head coaching search. They just hired a guy to be their top assistant coach. Look for them to make a move. They're definitely going to want to keep Dame happy. Maybe there'll be a big free agent this summer who's going to want to take their talents to Portland. It's a little bit of a wacky town, wacky place to live, but other than that, it's beautiful out there.
Mm-hmm.
And their basketball team's not that bad.
No, they're right on the cusp of
playoffs or not playoffs.
Yeah.
And then if you add one more superstar, one more guy that can get you some points, they're in as the 6, 7, 8, 9 seed. And then I just have one more thing to add on that whole James Harden thing. Did you have a chance to see Pat McAfee's meme video that he made?
Oh, I think I saw when I was in bed last night, I saw like it for like 2 seconds and then I scrolled past it.
Yeah, it says, how high do you have to be, or how high do you think these guys are? And it was Pat. He was baked. He was ripped, because you could tell. And he cut himself, like mirrored himself onto the screen. And he was sitting there walking, like just moving around. And then James Harden and Lil Baby were on the screen. And it just stopped. And then at the end, and their eyes are all just bloodshot to shit. And it was just so funny because he's trolling him so hard. It's like that had like 1 million views when I checked it out. So it's like, everybody knows.
Yeah,
but James Harden ain't getting in trouble.
No, that's the.
But Sha'Carri Richardson can't compete in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's the messed up thing with having a name like that and having the connections that you do, that you just get not even a slap on the wrist, just if you're with walk Kanye, the other way.
Maybe Kanye is one of the most famous people on the planet.
Yeah.
So if you're with Kanye, I think you're good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that's all on basketball. What do we got going on in the MLB?
Yeah, so yesterday the Brewers took game 1 in their series with the Reds, and they now move to a 7-game lead in the NL Central. Franmil Reyes hits a 3-run home run to end the Indians' 9-game skid. And it is Slam Diego as rookie relief pitcher Daniel Camarena helps the team overcome an 8-run deficit, hitting a grand slam in the 8th inning.
And it was off of Max Scherzer too. So
yeah, off of Max. Yeah. And then Trent Grisham would hit a RBI single in the 9th to put them ahead. So yeah, that was a fun game to watch the highlights and just watch the rally caps get put on and San Diego put their head down and go to work. A day after the Cubs breaking their 11-game losing streak with an 8-3 win, they go back into the losing column with an 8-0 blowout from the Phillies yesterday. And then the last point here is that Trevor Bauer has his administrative leave extended 7 more days as the MLB continues their investigation into his sexual assault allegations. So, weekend baseball, again, some good series heating up. All-Star break just around the corner, and I'll break the weekend stuff down for you guys on Monday.
Yeah, and I just have one pretty cool point that I found on the MLB as well. Shohei Ohtani has not taken any batting practice all season long, and he leads the MLB in home runs with 32. Their hitting coach came out and just wanted to make that public that he doesn't even take BP. He just shows up and hits dingers.
This guy's a national treasure.
Dude, he's one of the greatest baseball talents the world will ever see.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool what he's able to do, and inspiration for so many young kids right now. They want to be the next Ohtani, pitcher, hitter.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see how many people probably coming up potentially be doing this. So that's awesome that he's paving the way. Babe Ruth paved the way back then, and then it's been 100 years since, and now we got another guy. So hopefully this becomes a more common commodity, as it's cool that people can do that.
Mm-hmm. And if not, if it is kind of a once every 100 years kind of thing, I mean, sports fans enjoy it while you can. Like, it's a once in a lifetime thing. It's a very small window that you get to enjoy an athlete of this caliber.
Absolutely.
And yeah, unfortunately, hockey season's over. Wrap things up with the Stanley Cup final over there.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay Lightning end up winning their back-to-back consecutive Stanley Cups. Shout out to them. Like I said before the series started, David versus Goliath type of a series here, as Tampa was the juggernaut and Montreal couldn't get the job done. Too many mistakes on their end, which ended up with the puck being in the back of the net, and that's what happens when you face a good team. So all around, I mean, shout out to Stammer. Awesome that Vasilevsky won the Conn Smythe Valuable Player of the Playoffs. He deserves it. He now is tied all time for most shutouts in Stanley Cup Finals games, and he does have the record of 6 consecutive shutouts in elimination games. So, unbelievable, just unbelievable what that team has done. It's going to be interesting to see what happens after this season with the expansion draft coming in, who they're going to protect, who they're not going to protect, as they are going to lose a couple players. They might also lose a couple players after the season because they're going to go on and get paid. That's kind of usually what happens after you win the Stanley Cup. You lose roughly about maybe 20% of your team. But if it's the Tom Brady effect, we'll see if everybody is willing to sign for less and stay and go for 3. I honestly wouldn't doubt it with the team that they have put together right now. They all could take way less and go on another tremendous run and hopefully do it again. Next season is going to be a little bit different now that they're going back to all the normal conferences and everything. So that's going to be cool to see that. And yeah, so shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning on winning a Stanley Cup. Unbelievable that you guys are able to do that back-to-back seasons, and especially winning on your home ice in front of your home fans, when your friends and family are in the building. Can't be any more sweet than that. Some other huge news here. Star winger Vladimir Tarasenko, who's only 29 years old, requests trade from the St. Louis Blues. He's been their captain. He's been their guy ever since he's been in the league. For St. Louis, he's always been their top point scorer, their top guy. He is disgruntled with the way that the organization has turned after they've won their Stanley Cup 2 seasons ago. They've kind of let everybody go. They let 2 of their top defensemen go. One went to Vegas. One went up north into Canada. The team's kind of fallen apart. They let Pat Maroon go, who won a Stanley Cup. He's now won 2 in a row for Tampa. That team's kind of just fallen apart. Like I said, once you win a Stanley Cup, people want to go on. Like, once you win it once, that's all. Like, some people never even get to sniff the playoffs in their whole career. So if you get a chance to win one, your career's kind of, set. You're a champion forever. You're a Stanley Cup champion for your whole entire life. So it's going to be really interesting to see, like I said, what happens with the way that this expansion draft goes. They released the odds for the Stanley Cup champs next season. Colorado is favorite again early in the season. So we'll see what happens with them, as they have some goaltending issues that I think that they need to sort out. And yeah. And then the last piece of news here in the NHL, the Florida Panthers are planning to get involved with name, image, and likeness deals for all colleges in the state of Florida. So they're gonna be sponsoring some kids and helping out with kids with tuition and stuff like that. So it'd be cool to see all pro sports get involved in their home states like that. It's a way to pass down keep the sports relevant, keep passing down your knowledge and all that stuff to continue to make sports what they are today.
For sure. And then I have one thing with the NHL, again, with the bracket challenge, now that the Stanley Cup finals are done, we thought that the top 3 were solidified and it was just the top 2 guys that were going to be interchanged. The top 3 had a little bit of a shakeup due to some picks for the finals. Congratulations to AJ56. You are the winner. You took first with 256 total points. Second is Nardzy9 with 160. And coming out of nowhere, last time I looked at the bracket, from 7th place to 3rd, my pops, Kevin K920 comes out with 118 points to take 3rd. So congratulations, gentlemen. If you're listening to this episode, reach out to us. Let us know what you'd like from the merch store to have get us your addresses. Otherwise, we'll be reaching out to you as well to get that squared away. So it was a lot of fun having, I think 25 people total in that bracket challenge. And I'm sure once March Madness comes around, we'll do it for that and then back for this again and other contests as well. So thanks to everybody who participated in that.
Yeah. And then one other quick thing here. Since there was a tropical storm moving in on the state of Florida, I know some games were postponed in baseball due to this. NHL stated before that there was 0 chance that the game was being canceled. So it could have been a hurricane and the game still would have been played because they needed to get it done. So shout out to the NHL coming out and saying we're playing no matter what.
That'd be fucking leaving the arena with the cup and just.
You'd probably have no fans at the game if it was.
Oh yeah, they'd probably shut down the streets and stuff, not even allow people to get there.
But yeah, I can't believe Montreal, just what a Cinderella story, and they just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to show with all the odds against them for them to make it that far. Again, next year when they go back to a regular format, their record's going to have to be better if they want to try a lot better.
Way better.
if they want to make it that far again. But that boosts everybody's confidence to where, yeah, we have a losing record. Yeah, we should have lost in the first round, and they went all the way to the finals. So long as they can transition that over to the next regular season, I don't see why they couldn't make another deep run.
Yeah, this expansion draft is going to be really interesting on how it shakes up all these teams, especially after the last expansion, Vegas, how they built their powerhouse team literally out of nowhere, went to the Stanley Cup Finals. Look for Seattle to do the same fucking thing. I mean, these teams right now, so there's a handful of teams that are built to win championships now, and you lose 2 people just like that. So that Seattle team's going to be coming out with a vengeance, and hopefully they do have green ice like they said that they were going to have.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday about the odds. The odds, it was like right after. It's like the way too early predictions for next year's Stanley Cup. The Kraken open at plus 10,000 odds. So if they do kind of pull off a Vegas move and steal some all-star guys and build that team up for a championship now team right out of the gates. Obviously here in Wisconsin, we can't bet on it, but if you're elsewhere, that might not be a bad.
That. Yeah, it might be a great futures bet right now, especially at 10,000 odds. Same with the Detroit Red Wings. They have the worst odds. This season will not be the season, mark my words, but within a 2 to 7 year, I'm going to say 2 to 7 year window, they're going to be back to the old hockey town Detroit Red Wings, where if not borderline Stanley Cup Finals every single season. They're young kids that they have in their pipeline, plus of all the trades and all the fleecing that they've just done at the end of the season, kind of getting rid of all their dead weight and keeping all their young kids who are going to be in it for a long time. Look for them to make a push.
Sounds good. Then, yeah, kind of wrapping up the show here then, another segment that we are going to be starting for Fridays, for those who kind of have been watching the last couple episodes. We're having our or no segment on Mondays, our Wisconsin Wednesdays, and Friday is going to be our Feel Good Friday, where both of us are going to find a story around the sports world, bring it to the table as just kind of a heartwarming, cool story every week. So I'll kick things off with you. What's your cool story for the week?
So, a cool story for the week that I have is yesterday. I actually watched it. Zalia Avant-Garde becomes the Scripps National B spelling champion. She becomes the first African American female to win the competition. Okay, let me restate that. She becomes the first African American United States person to win. On the last African American, or it says Black champion, was Jody Ann Maxwell, Jamaica, in 1998. So it's been a long time coming. It was awesome that she won, and turns out this chick is just an overall beast. She owns 3 Guinness World Records by dribbling multiple basketballs simultaneously. Her lifelong dreams are to play in the WNBA or coach in the NBA. I guess this chick is just a basketball prodigy. Asking her about the spelling and stuff, she said she's been practicing for 2 years, about 7 hours a day, nonstop. After the last year, she took 370th place. This season, she comes back and she ends up taking first place on the word Maria, or Maria. Murraya is the word that she ended up winning on, and it was so awesome watching her on stage. She was just so confident. Her and the 12-year-old girl that she was battling it out with, just awesome to see. It's a cool moment when you get to win the spelling bee champion as a little kid. You become kind of a world-known prodigy at that point, where everybody wants to get their hands on you. So keep doing your thing, and I thought that was a very awesome thing.
For sure. Yeah, the spelling bee is kind of one of those things that doesn't get a lot of attention, so it's kind of cool to shine some light on it here on the show for a little bit. Yeah, and then my story to bring to the table is Baltimore Ravens Calais Campbell donates $30,000 to his alma mater high school, South High in Denver, to help the school change their name from Rebels to Ravens. The $30,000 will go towards new uniforms, new gym floor, and signs around the school to help make the transition. This change has been an ongoing process for years, as the school was founded on Civil War roots, and the mascot was a Confederate soldier up until the year 2009. Coincidentally, the Ravens name choice was not due to Campbell's donation or anything like that. As the name was chosen through surveys and focus groups, and it's been like a 6-month process that's been ongoing. So, yeah, always great to see any athlete giving back to their alma mater, college or high school in any way. And especially in this case, it's going towards a really good cause to kind of get a high school, kind of help them take a new step from kind of a darker past with the roots of their high school. So, shout out to Campbell for doing that. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, that's awesome that he's involved with doing that. It's great to see athletes giving back to their alma maters where they came from, because somebody else could potentially be coming down that same path that you did. And it's good to give back. And then one also thing real quick that I totally forgot to mention until you just, I don't know why it popped into my head when you started talking about the Calais Campbell thing, but Brandon Gallagher, forward on the Montreal Canadiens, had a rough evening, lost in the Stanley Cup Finals. Then he ended up getting home to where his house was robbed. So yeah, he posted a thing on TikTok not on TikTok, on Instagram, where I forgot what he was listening to. He was listening to some 90s music. It was like a feel good, like, and then he's just like, when you lose the Stanley Cup Finals and your house is robbed, but you still have this music to cheer you up or something like that. It's just like, what a rough day for that guy.
Yeah. Jeez.
Because he was pretty salty in the media. He's like, there's nothing to learn about moral victories in the series. Like, We fucking lost.
Yeah. And he just wants to go home, lay on
And
his,
then he gets
his
home
couch
and his house
and
is robbed and it's fucking torture.
probably pour himself a nice glass of scotch, and there's no couch and no scotch. Yeah, it was good. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to our social media accounts. All those you can find in our bio. Also, don't forget to check out the merch store. We will have some newer things hopefully coming on, phasing into that within the next handful of months here. That's one thing that we're looking forward to do. And then, yeah, we just hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay safe out there. It should be beautiful weather if you're going to be around the Midwest. So, yeah, have a great weekend, and we will be back on Monday.
Have a great weekend, everybody.